Last year, I had the wonderful opportunity to demo for Treasure House Makeup at the Prosthetics Event 2024. And this year I'm challenging myself to build more of a relationship with people that I have on the Instagrams and the social medias. Here is how I created the menacing ruler, in which I decided to aptly call Denise. Okay, let's talk about inspiration. I was playing a lot of Warhammer, and if people don't know what that is, well, Google is free, so look it up. There's this thing called a Tyranid, which if you don't know what that is, it's this thing. And I thought that's a great starting piece. Now, onto the sketching phase. So Tyranids are like covered in these like jagged scales and spikes, and when I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? This is it. This is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna cover my model in spikes and jags. Because personally, I don't think that the human face is pointy enough. Right, now that we have our amazing inspiration, it's time to move on to the actual sculpting phase. Now watch closely, because what I'm about to tell you is gonna change the game for you in your sculpting. First, you're gonna and that's how we got the sculpt for the character. Now wasn't that totally insightful and in no way a cop-out? It's a lovely ceiling got going on here. Finally, the last thing we need to do before we jet set off to the tropical land of Birmingham, we need a costume. Now normally I would get my very close personal best friend Christian Bale to model for me, but he was busy, so my cousin Tom will have to do.
How do you feel, Tom?
Great.
Now the costume is basically made up of two separate parts. It's got the collar, which is the main part, the most complicated thing, and then it's basically got a silk gown underneath it. I didn't say that I was high tech, okay? Now, to make the collar, the most complicated part, after duct taping and cling filming your family member of choice, cut that out into patterns. I then transferred those patterns over to the fabric and obviously cut the bits out of fabric, sew those pieces together, and then finally put the eyelets in, which as you can see is a lot harder than it looks. Wow, that's a face. And yes, before you ask me, the neighbours loved me doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning. Quick fashion show to show it off. Right, now on to the actual event. Now, when I started in this industry, I really wish that somebody had told me that I would have to literally give up sleep for my makeup brushes, because since moving to London, I have had maybe collectively about 2 hours sleep in the last 3 years. That might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration. The day started at 5 a.m. As you can see, I was loving life. I love my job, 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 I love my... I packed all my stuff up. I got myself ready. I gave myself a very, very, very quick haircut, which I deeply regret because I did it in the dark and I did it in less than 3 minutes. But after jumping in a taxi, I got to London Euston Station and I met up with Rue, which apparently I have zero footage of. We got on a train. Rue decided to sit in another seat. Didn't take that personally at all. But eventually we got to the venue, I got my lanyard and we got set up and we got ready to go.
Look, I'm doing stuff. Yeah, wow. Very cool. Oh.
Shout out to my trusty sidekick slash assistant for the day, Tristan. Say hi, Tristan. Who had to put up with me apparently not smiling for the entire day. But before you know it, the day was over. Makeup was finished, we got some amazing photographs. Of course, thank you again to Treasure House Makeup for having me. I basically finished the rest of the day by grabbing Saffron and Rue, who both happened to be there.
Which one did you go see?
Going through all the different stalls, buying things that are not within my budget, but I bought anyway. And finally, finding out the winners of the makeup lottery that they do every single year. Which, personally, I think that I lost with grace. Boo!
I don't know what to say. Boo!
And decorum. and all other nice things. If you're still here, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this viewing, then hi, I'm Axel. You can follow me for all sorts of artistic and makeup and prosthetic-y things.